Awesome. And we have some people in the chat who have been here for a while, so that's exciting. Well, I am Lauren Youmans, and I have been coaching with Optavia for a little over 4 years. And welcome to our client community call. It is June 14th of 2022. And we're super excited about this time together tonight because this is going to be what we call a hope and health night. And I don't know about you guys, but I love having hope and I love having health. And I love when the two of those things intersect. And so we have an incredible lineup of people that are going to be sharing their stories with us tonight. And you guys, it's a little nerve-wracking to get on here. Usually we're probably going to have over 100 people on here tonight, and it's a little nerve-wracking to get on here and share your story. So please give your love to the people who are going to be sharing and being vulnerable and welcoming you into their life and into their story. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started. And I love seeing all of this that's coming up in the chat. We have some people that are fairly new. Melinda's on day one. Thanks so much for being on here, Melinda from Maine. And Chris is getting his box tomorrow. And several people have been on here for 4 years. I know one of those is my mama, who posted 6 years for Beth. So cool to see the mix of different people that are popping on here tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we're going to get this PowerPoint going. And just know we will have hopefully some time for some questions tonight. So if there's any burning questions that you guys have, save them and we'll get to them later in the call. Can everyone see this okay? Perfect. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to start with just sharing my own story. So these are some pictures of my own journey. And for some reason, it cut off the year here. But this was on the furthest left picture, November of 2017. And I had a baby that year. And honestly, had felt super defeated in my health. And I look back at pictures during that time in my life, and I honestly, it's hard for me to recognize myself in the pictures. And I can see the discomfort that I felt in that time. And it was hard for me to even find a picture to put as my before pictures because I did not want to be seen. And I would hide behind my daughter. I would hide behind other people. And then this next picture was a year later, November of 2018. I actually started the program March of 2018. And so this was actually 8 months after I had started the program. And at that point, I was down nearly 70 pounds of being on our program. And I feel like I got my life back. I mean, to be honest, I was wearing a size 18 jean in that picture on the left, and I was wearing a size 6 jean because I remember vividly my mom had them and she gave them to me, and I was like, Mom, there's no stinking way that those are going to fit me. And I was like, okay, well, let's just try them on. And I did, and they fit. And it was just like, I just started crying because I'd never dreamed of being in that place in my life. And my biggest motivation, my biggest why was that I wanted to have a healthy pregnancy. My first pregnancy, I was very unhealthy. I had a lot of complications. I actually gave labor in a labor ICU. I was on a lot of drip medications because my blood pressure was so high. They were worried about me having a stroke or having seizures. And it was a very scary time in my life because I started to see that my health was not only impacting me, but it was impacting my family and even my, future child. And so it was a wake-up call for me, and I'm so grateful that I found this program when I did. And then next picture was me being pregnant with my second, and I felt so much better through my pregnancy. I actually ended my pregnancy being far less in weight than that picture on the far left that was before I started my program, but I still had a ways to go after I had my baby. So that picture in the middle on the right side was when I started back on the program 8 weeks postpartum. And it was hard. It was hard to have to go through a second weight loss journey after getting to that place that I felt my best. But I was so grateful that I knew what to do, and especially that I knew what to do while nursing. And then that is a more recent picture on the right, the far right. And what I've loved most about this journey is the opportunity to share my journey with others and inspire other people through what I've been through. And one of my favorite quotes is by Brene Brown. And she says, owning your own story is the bravest thing that you will ever do. And what I have found is by owning my own story and sharing my own story, so it's been an incredible ripple effect. And so I'm super excited to introduce Bill Ellis, who's going to be our next speaker. And every single person that's going to be speaking tonight most likely would not have found our program if it wasn't for me sharing my story and for the people who went before me sharing their story, like Dee and Meg. And so without further ado, I'm going to bring on Bill Ellis to share his story with us.
All right. Well, I'm super excited to be here. I've been on program and for about 1 year and 5 months now. I came on really at the end, well, at the middle of COVID, what we thought was going to be the end of COVID. I had gained about 25 pounds and I had seen a couple of people in our small group Bible study had lost significant weight, and I was looking to lose the 25 pounds that I had gained because I've always been heavy, but I've always been active. And so I just wanted to be able to get back to where I was feeling myself. I saw a picture of myself on our church website that our first in-person service. It was a park service. Somebody took a picture of me. They thought it'd be a good idea to put it on the website. I can't believe they did that because it was awful, but it really woke me up. I said, I need to do something about myself. I didn't feel well. I was at the point where if at bedtime something had been left downstairs, it was staying downstairs. It didn't matter how important it was. I wasn't doing anything to go get it. And so January of 2021, I started on program, and by April, I had lost 65 pounds. And so I've actually kept those same 65 pounds off since April of last year. So I've been at my present weight for about 1 year now, a little over 1 year now. So really, I got in. I wanted to be healthy. I'm a pastor. I really felt like I needed to be a better example for my congregation. I would get up and call people to repentance every week, and I was not repenting of areas in my own life, and it was obvious, and it took away my testimony. It took away my security in myself, even what I was saying. So that was my initial why. I just wanted to get back to feeling myself, and to the point where I felt like I could put my face in front of people. And then about 2 months into the journey, I'd lost about 40 pounds, and I started coaching, and really started coaching because friends started asking me what I was doing. And I wasn't interested in coaching at first. I really don't have time to do that. I don't know if I want to put myself out there like that. I don't know if that's confusing to our congregation. And so there were a lot of kind of questions, and I got a lot of advice, decided it was great. And people just kept asking and asking and asking. And since deciding to step into coaching, I've seen several of my friends make decisions to get healthier. They are happier. They are more energetic. They are better versions of themselves. It's also my wife and I, we had a home in Chicago that went unsold. We moved to Orlando about 4 years ago, and our home spent 3 years on the market. 2 of these years were vacant, and we had a mortgage plus our rent in Orlando. And if it wouldn't have been for coaching and Optavia, we would have had to declare bankruptcy. There was no way. And so thankfully, after stepping into coaching, that kept us financially afloat, paid the mortgage up in Chicago, and since selling the house has allowed us to go on 3 vacations. So it's really been a humongous blessing to our family. And one of my closest friends, or one of our closest friends as a couple, they're actually on the call, and they're Robert and Carmen Morales. And I'd love to share. They have an incredible transformation story, and they just started a couple months ago.
Yes, thank you, Bill, for letting us share. Like he said, my name is Robert. This is my beautiful wife, Carmen. We started our journey in January 24th of this year. So we're going to be hitting our 5th month. So what I'll do is I'll let my wife share briefly real quick, and then I'll finish sharing.
Yes, good evening. I am so excited that I started this journey. Believe it or not, I started before him a year or so ago. It didn't go too well. My mind and my soul was not committed to that. But once we started doing it together, it's encouraging for both of us to do it. The main thing about this is not only losing weight and that my clothes fit better, but it's also my health. I suffer from rheumatoid arthritis, and due to that and losing the weight, it has been much better. I feel more energized, and also the inches that I have lost. I mean, I always complain that I lost only 25, which is a great deal for me, besides him, but I know that it's not only that, because it's like a journey. It's like a mentally training me how to eat healthier. Right now we go out to eat dinner and automatically we think and look for something that we should eat. And that for me is huge, because we love to eat out there in restaurants, all kinds of food. So for me has been that, not only health, not only losing the weight and the inches and my clothes being better fitted, but also training myself of how to be healthy for me, for my family, and for my grandkids and kids.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. And for me, basically, I got to give a shout out to Bill Ellis. Of course, I was the hard-headed, stubborn Robert Morales that I am. I didn't want to do it, but thanks God I did, because I am type 2 diabetic. I was dependent on 3 insulins. So basically this journey, like I said, started in January, and I've lost 44 pounds. And it's just amazing, the journey, because once I went to my endocrinologist, I think I said it right, it blew my mind, because I'm no longer on insulin. My doctor took me off my insulin. And I think for me, being 20, 25 years plus, just going up and down with my weight, I reached 299 at one point in my life. And I tried all those things out there. And the thing is, they just were not long lasting. And I think part of this that's helping me, that is also a mental shift, because it just helps me focus on my health and on my grandkids. And my blood pressure, I went to the doctor the other day, it was 122/77 or something like that. She was like, what are you doing? Even my doctor's amazed. So, you know, it's really encouraging. And I just have like 23 more pounds to go. I want to hit a 200 goal. And one of the excitements is being able to get on, we took vacation to Frontier Airlines. And a lot of people were telling me, Robert, those planes are really small. You're not going to fit. And behold, I sat in that chair. I thought I was on JetBlue. I was leaning back. I was not feeling tight. I was like, and then the other day, just to close it out, I was in Aquatica with my wife, and we sat down. It's a water park. And I was sitting down on those low chairs that you sit on the sand that are real low. And behold, believe it or not, when I used to get up before, I used to tell my wife, could you help me? I used to give her my 2 hands. Mm-hmm. This time I just grabbed the chair and I just popped right up. I was like, oh no, this is wonderful. So it feels great. I'm down 4 pant sizes. I was a 48, I'm down to 40. So I really could keep on going, just sharing my journey. But I know that, you know, with God, everything is possible, and I'm going to be able to continue this journey together with this great community that we have. So thank you for letting me share.
Oh my gosh, Robert and Carmen, that was amazing and hilarious. Thank you so much for sharing. And I love that you guys are doing this as a couple. And it's been so cool to see you guys like come alive in a new way in your relationship and together. So thank you so much for sharing, and love hearing those stories about the airlines and the traveling and the fun things that you guys are doing together. And next is Lucy Ward, and unfortunately she had a medical emergency in her family today, but she wanted so badly to share her story with you guys. So she actually sent this video from a hospital room so that we could listen to her story. So I hope this works okay.
Hello, my name is Lucy Ward, and I appreciate the opportunity to share with you all tonight. And I apologize, first of all, that I am not there in person. But just to give you a little snippet of my transformation and history with Optavia, I started as a client in May of 2020 and went on to lose about almost 50 pounds in 6 months that I'm very, very grateful for. And then in January of 2021, I made the decision to step into health coaching. And it has been honestly a life change for me. After 30 years of being in the financial industry, I was able to walk away from my job. But honestly, I am sitting here in a hospital room right now. And the biggest thing that it has afforded me, it goes beyond what it has done for me monetarily, but it has given me the freedom to be present. In the last 3 weeks, I have been in a hospital room with 2 different very close family members. And had I been still working, I would have had to orchestrate things with my boss, get time, ask for time off, paperwork for FMLA. And you guys, I don't have to do that at all. I have the ability to be present instantly for my mom, my grandson, my husband, my children, no matter what. And that's what stepping into health coaching has done for me. It's given me the ability to still live my life the way that I want to and the way that I desire to and dream of. But most important, my family means the world to me. And I've had the ability to not have to even think about having to orchestrate anything to be able to or get permission to be able to be with them. I really love the opportunity to serve my family in that way. And that has been the biggest gift that health coaching has done for me. And if you are considering becoming a health coach, I would really recommend that you do reach out to the person that invited you to tonight's call and just get more information. No commitment, just get more information and make a decision from there. Okay. Sorry I couldn't be with you guys, but you all have a great evening. Take care.
Yeah, and I told her, I was like, Lucy, you don't have to send a video. We will all understand. But how cool that her heart is just so amazing to want to share this gift and how much it's blessed her and her family. And what's so cool is we're going to get to hear from one of her clients. From one of her clients, Sabrina. And so Sabrina, I know Lucy was wanting to be able to introduce you tonight, but I know you're such a bright light and I can't wait to hear you share your story with us.
Oh, thank you, Lauren. Excuse me. Yes, I'm just so thankful for Lucy and you all can see why. My journey with Optavia started in April of 2021. And it was after literally watching my friend and now coach Lucy disappear before my very eyes on Facebook. I kept watching her lose weight and share her story. And finally, one day I picked up the phone and I said, "What are you doing?" And she said, "Oh, I'll call you back after church. We'll chat." And we did. And I listened to what she was doing with Optavia. And honestly, I listened with curiosity, but also with skepticism. And the skepticism was for myself, wondering if I would be able to be consistent. Would I be able to eat this way? Would I be able to follow the plan? Because I can typically start projects, and when I get bored, I stop. I can look around my house and see unfinished projects that I've started and stopped. And so I didn't, join right away. But the more I thought about where my health was at that point, The girl on the left was 179 pounds, the heaviest I had ever been in my entire life, even after having 3 children who were all 8-pounders. And I thought about my health at that point. I wasn't sleeping well. I had a lot of inflammation, a frozen shoulder. I was in PT for, and so the more and more I thought about it, I was like, okay, why not? Let me just jump in and, take a risk if it is. And just what do I have to lose? And I'm so thankful that Lucy is who she is and just really walked with me through the journey, and I'm still walking with her. One of the things that has helped me are these calls, just hearing everyone's story. And one of the things that I leave you with is just never underestimate the power of your story. There are several women on this call now who I shared my story with, and they decided to become clients. But I had to battle the negative thinking. I think sometimes the biggest battle we go through is in between our ears. What voice are you listening to? And just really making those decisions daily that you are going to fight, because it is a fight. I realized that I was an emotional eater. Oftentimes, if I was in a conflict with one of my kids who are now young men, that my solution would be, oh, go make a pan of brownies, go have a cookie. And just really getting honest with myself and honest with my coach about where I was. One of the biggest things that helped me is the principle of stop, challenge, and choose. So asking myself those questions when I'm about to make a bad decision, like, is this worth it, Sabrina? Do you want to go back? The other thing is keeping my why visible, where I can see it every morning in my bathroom, so I can, look at it and remind myself of why I started this journey. And I'm happy to say that I did lose roughly 38 pounds. I dropped from a size 14 to a size 8. And I just feel healthier. So many of my victories were non-scale, walking into offices and them saying, what are you doing? And people coming up to me and asking, what am I doing? And just being able to share my story. So I thank you for listening, and just encourage you to keep going. And one other thing is, Lauren told me once on a call between her and Lucy was to not compare. And, she gave me that quote, how comparison is the thief of all joy. And it's really stuck with me, to not compare my journey with anybody else's, but to just stay on my journey and to just be true to myself and what I've set out to do. So thank you for listening.
Oh my gosh, Sabrina, I feel like that's a mic drop moment. Everything you shared is so true and so real and so vulnerable. And I thank you so much for just being on here tonight. And I mean, that picture just says it all. Like, you can see the confidence and the joy and the energy just in the picture alone. And next, I'm super excited to share about my client, Jennifer. And she just reached a huge milestone in her own health journey. And I just can't wait for her to share with you. So Jennifer, take it away.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jennifer Peterson, and Lauren is my coach. I stumbled across this program from another former coworker of mine, and she had lost a significant amount of weight. But I was too embarrassed to ask her what she was doing. So I Googled the disclaimer to find out the program. And when I went to the website and was overwhelmed by what I saw, I just said, match me with a coach. And that's how I got matched randomly with Lauren. Biggest blessing. And so I am currently down 107 pounds. I started June 2nd of 2021. And what has this done for me? Well, I am also a full-time respiratory therapist, and working 2 years in COVID pretty much did me in physically. Being on your feet with all that stuff on every day, my legs, my feet, my back, my neck, everything hurt. I've been on blood pressure medicine for since my mid-30s. But I'm off one blood pressure medicine. I'm off my reflux meds. I have no not as many aches and pains as I did. You know, I went from a size, when I see myself on that, in that picture, I was a 2X in shirts and I'm down to like medium or a small. My pant size also drastically changed. And one of my biggest whys is my horse in that picture. He's very small. He's new to me, kind of. And he was a racehorse and he spent, you know, 10 plus years on the track. So I'm sure he has some arthritis in his, you know, joints. So I needed to make things easier on him. So I had to do something if I was going to keep riding him. So that is my biggest why, because I like to ride my horse. But I stepped into coaching about 4 months after. You know, I was very anti-coaching, right, Lauren? And so, but again, everybody, like everybody else, people were asking, and I didn't want to stop this journey because I was having like such good success on it, and it really, you know, took a burden off of me, literally. And I just wanted to share it with everyone because, you know, it's amazing what it can do. And my dad was overweight. I figured this was my life. Doesn't have to be. And what was the quote that we heard a few weeks ago, that genetics loads the gun and lifestyle pulls the trigger? Well, when you're in healthcare, we are often our own worst enemy, because we see a lot of bad things. We see people at their worst, and we invest so much time in taking care of them that we really neglect ourselves. And when you see bad things, I'm an emotional eater, and when you have that kind of stress, the first thing you would do is go and put food in your mouth because it made you feel good when you couldn't feel good about other things in your life. So, and I really didn't want to stop, and I want to be able to afford it and keep going. And I like helping other people reach their goals. So that's my story. And I'm just glad I found it. And I wish I would have found it sooner.
Thank you so much for sharing, Jennifer. And gosh, I thank God that he connected me with you. And you guys, just want to again thank you all for coming on here and sharing tonight. And what I love is I know that we could go around and listen to each of your stories. And I know each of you have been impacted. And if you want to pop in the chat, what sticks out most to you of how your life has been impacted by being a part of this journey. And I know we have a couple minutes. So if there's anyone that has a burning question, maybe for someone who spoke tonight, would love to welcome you on to ask any question you may have. And if not, that's okay. But like I said, I think what's so cool is that, oh, Jessica, go ahead. I see your hand up.
Hi, sorry, I'm here. Actually, I have a question for you, Lauren. You said that you were on the program and then you ended up getting pregnant. Did you do anything like stay on plan? Did you adjust the plan? Like, because I've been on the plan for about 4 months and my husband and I are trying to get pregnant with our second baby, and I don't want to lose my momentum. Obviously, I'm not still trying to lose weight while we get pregnant, but just kind of wanted to ask you about that because I haven't talked to anybody else on Optavia that has gotten pregnant after they've been on plan. So that was just my question.
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think it depends on what plan that you're on. And I have talked to nutrition support about this and gotten some insight from them. Of course, we can't legally recommend any plan while pregnant. But what I would recommend if you are on 5-in-1 and you get pregnant is automatically switch to 4-in-2 the minute you find out that you're pregnant, and go through a quick transition on 4-in-2 where maybe every few days you add in a new food group, and definitely connect with your coach. And And then also just being careful to, there's some great tips. And if you want to find me on Facebook and message me, I'd be happy to give more, but, and definitely connect with your coach. And absolutely you can connect with nutrition support as well. But you do need more than 5-in-1 when you're pregnant.
That's what I figure. And I want to make sure I get the right nutrients and everything, but I'll definitely try and find you on Facebook and maybe talk a little bit more offline. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And definitely someone just mentioned, check with your doctor, and that's super important as well. Just to make sure that you're getting everything that you need. And really, like I said, none of our plans are designed for pregnancy. So you want to make sure that you're given everything that your body needs.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Well, in closing, I know that Sabrina mentioned this a little bit, that it's what happens between our ears is kind of the most important thing that drives our journey. And I found this quote today and I love it. And it says, the strongest factor for success is self-esteem, believing you can do it, believing you deserve it, believing you will get it. So just want to leave that with you tonight, to remember what you deserve, that you are each deserving to live a healthy and vibrant life. And I hope that you were touched by a story tonight. And I hope that you remember what is possible for each of you in your lives. And I wish we could hear each of your stories, because I know each of you have incredible stories to share. So thanks for being on, and I'm so grateful for each of you, and we'll see you guys next Tuesday. And thanks for everyone who shared.
Okay, good night.
Bye.
Good night.